Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for coming out tonight. I know it's not easy for everyone to get on 2 days in a row, so I really appreciate everyone who's on today and those who are watching after the fact. Welcome to you too. Today, we're going to be talking about a little bit more in-depth, hands-on approach. We're going to be, the topic of today is empowered style and putting it all into action. So I'm going to we're going to recap a little bit from yesterday, but mostly we're going to do some really hands-on approaches. I'm going to show you how to pair pieces you already have in your closet different ways than you might have thought. We're going to talk about a few other things also, so let's just get started. Let me just share my screen with you. Second. Okay, here we go. Okay, so empowered style, putting it into action. Yesterday, we talked a lot about mindset and how our wardrobes can be a really, really powerful tool for us to express ourselves, for ways that other people view us. And most importantly, it can be a really good way to ha manifest the things that we want to happen in our lives. And it can also be a really good way to reach our next level selves if we dress with intention. So that was what the mostly yesterday was about. We also talked about the 5 style personas, 5 style identities, and how you can find which one you fit into and how you can find a little bit more about your personal style. So once we have that base, we are now ready to put it into action with some practical tips and tricks and tools. And I'm going to teach you my style switch method, which is really, really fun and exciting. So let's get into it. Okay, so today we're going to explore, like I said, the style switch method. It is 3 easy steps to create an upgraded look from really even the simplest pieces. I'm sure most of the pieces that I'm going to talk about you already have in your closet. So this is just a really, really easy way to put it all together and to upgrade any look. I'm going to show you some really, really easy, effortless, practical styling tips and tricks. And I'm going to show you a live demo, which I've never done before. So bear with me if it doesn't work out. We're going to do a few minutes of slides, and then I'm actually going to do a live demo, and I'm going to show you in real time how I style pieces and how you can try it at home. So it's really easy. It's pretty much a no-brainer. So that's what we're going to cover today. Okay, so what is the style switch method exactly? It's a really, really easy method that you can take your most basic pieces and upgrade it to create the most beautiful, stylish looks. So it's a really, really simple method. When I say there's 3 different steps, it's because you start with a base. And here I have just shown a regular t-shirt. It does have those cute little hearts, but it's pretty basic and plain. I'm sure everyone has a plain t-shirt in their closet. So it's a base plus the boost, and that is a little bit more of an interesting piece to add interest. And then you have the finish. So it's the base plus the boost plus the finish. So here we have a white t-shirt, and then we paired it with a gorgeous green blazer, and then just some red, gorgeous red shoes for that show-stopping finishing touch piece. Okay, so I'm going to break this down a little bit and tell you exactly how you can recreate this in your own closet, in your own wardrobe, with the foundation basic pieces you have. So this is really your canvas. The base is is like a fresh canvas. When you start with the painting, you start with a fresh white canvas. So it doesn't have to be white, but it's really, really basic items that every single person has in their closet, right? I'm sure almost everyone has a plain t-shirt. Here, again, I listed white again just because it's the most basic one, but it could be any solid color, any printed piece. Um, a white t-shirt. Here is a LBD, the little black dress, which is a wardrobe staple in anyone's closet. So if you don't have that, I'm sure you do, but if you don't, go run and get one right now because they can be dressed up for a dress down and is an absolute wardrobe essential. If you got my first email, I actually gave you my wardrobe essentials. So all of these basics are definitely part of that. Then we have a pair of basic jeans. If you don't wear pants, you can swap this for a jean skirt. Just a basic jean, very, very simple, very, very common. Everyone has it. Then we have a striped top. A striped top I view as the neutral of prints because it's just so basic, so neutral. It's still considered a print, but it's very, very basic. And then we just have a simple black skirt. This one's pleated, but any black skirt or black pant would work for the foundation. And there's many more foundational pieces. These are just a few examples of a place to start. Okay, the next step is the boost. So once you've chosen any of those foundational pieces, you can do one or more, then is the time to add a little bit of interest to really, really elevate the look. This is what's going to take you from completely basic and blah to fabulous looking. This is going to change your whole look. Okay, so right I have here just a few examples of some elevations that you can add. Again, you may already have these things. If not, it's a good place to start looking for similar pieces. It could be these are not your color or print choices. That's perfectly fine. This is just something that jumped out at me, so that's what I'm gonna share here. But here we have a bright colored, gorgeous fuchsia blazer. That would be amazing to add to any of those pieces there. We have a white belt. This one's pretty basic, but you can go even a little bit more dramatic if you want to. The satin bright purple pants. And again, if you don't wear pants, we can swap that for a skirt for sure. I love the color of these. It just really brings out a bold look. It completely elevates and upgrades any outfit, even the most basic piece. If you swapped it out for, let's say, instead of wearing it with the black bottom or a jean bottom, if you have like a bright, bold color bottom, that really completely changes and upgrades and elevates any look. And of course, we have a print skirt, and I love leopard. I'm partial to leopard, so that's what I chose here. But you can really work with any print that you like. Okay, and these are just some finishing touches. This is the third step in my style switch method. These are just some finishing touches that really, really completely pull the whole look together. So you have your basics, you have your boost, and now it's time for the finishing touch. So even with that, it's swapping out a more bolder, more interesting boost piece from the basic ones. Now it's time to bring the piece to that brings the whole look together. And just some examples that I brought here. I know a lot of people wear head coverings or headbands, so I have a very colorful scarf here. We have a really nice bright green sandal that could be a great finishing touch with any of these looks. Of course, sunglasses, because I'm partial to my sunglasses. These are basic black ones, but any sunglasses that would really always add another little oomph to every outfit. This is a pretty basic bag. I'm sure everyone has it, but sometimes even the most basics of bags just pull the whole look together. So that's that. And then I have some statement earrings, which is also like a great, cool finishing touch, a statement necklace, and some silver flats. So nothing here is so outlandish. Maybe they're not all exactly your taste. If you don't love the statement necklaces or earrings, that's perfectly fine. You can swap it out for something that is more your taste. Okay, so now I just want to show you it kind of like all put together in action. Everything that I've been talking about till now, the basic outfit on your left, and very similar a basis of the outfit, but just making a few simple swaps, and it completely changes the look of the outfit. So on the left side, we have your basic jeans, white sneakers, and a white t-shirt. Easy, simple, comfortable, great. The next side is just as easy, just as simple, and just as comfortable. You notice how there's nothing like too tight here or too structured or even high heels. I chose flats here. Flats are almost as comfortable as sneakers. We have the satin pant in place of the jeans. And I just added a really cool necklace here and a bright color. And you can see how even taking this simple, basic switches completely changes the whole look. And not only is it going to change the look, this is going to bring out your confidence. This is what's gonna take you to the next level in how you feel about yourself, how you act, and how you really interact with the world. And that is going to help you really become your next level self. So I want to pause here for 1 second and see if anyone has any questions. And then we'll move on to the demo section of the demonstration. Okay, so I'm just reading the chat here. Aviva says, I don't think I have a little black dress, but I would like one. Love the idea of neutral prints. Love the silver shoes, and obviously the green shoes are my jam. Yes, we know you love the green. That's actually my sister, so I know that she's always drawn to green. Does anyone else have some questions regarding anything I said so far? How many outfits do you need like this? I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Um, how many outfits, like how many basic pieces, how many boost pieces, how many finishing touches, or how many different looks can you create? If you could just specify that a little bit, and then I'm happy to answer the question and take a water break. Okay, so the boost pieces. You really don't need a lot of boost pieces. The reason why I sent you guys the wardrobe essentials is because that is your canvas. That is your basis for everything. And in there, snippets in there, I did include a few boost pieces and of course a few finishing touches, but you really only need a few, I call them pop pieces, boost pieces, finishing touch pieces, only a few interesting things. You really need more importantly, is a good foundational basic wardrobe of essentials. And then you can have a little fun and switch it out every season or so with a few new pieces to make it fresh, freshen it up. And once you have just even like, let's say like, I don't know, 4 or 5, just let's say a few things that I put there, 4 or 5 different boost or pop pieces, you can play around and really create an infinite amount of different looks. So it's really fun. It's really cool. And that's something that I want to encourage you guys to do. I want you to play around in your own closets, see how you can rework things, maybe pair things differently than you had in the past, and really just jump out of your comfort zone a little bit. And that is where the growth begins, like we said yesterday. Okay, I'm glad you asked. Can you put can a striped shirt be paired with a print bottom? When I do my demo, I was actually going to talk about that um, because that's something I'm going to talk about. But I'll just answer here really quick. So yes, because I said the striped shirt is the neutral of prints, it really can be paired with almost every single print there is. I say almost because there's always exceptions to the rules, but a striped top can really be paired with a print bottom, and I'm going to show you that. I'm going to demonstrate that in 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the live demo part of this session. And at the end, I will pause again for questions that anyone has. So I'm going to show you what I'm wearing today, and I'm going to stand up and just put in the comments, a thumbs up or a heart or whatever you want to do. Tell me if you can see me clearly in my outfit. Okay, so I'm going to stand up here. Can everybody see me? Can you see what I'm wearing? I'm just wearing a jean skirt and a very basic button-down shirt. So if button-down is not your jam, I'm gonna switch it up later with a t-shirt, and so you can get an idea of this would look like. But right now, some would even say I look kind of put together, right? So I'm gonna roll down my sleeves because this is just like a basic plain white shirt, basic jeans. Every single person, I'm sure, has this in their closet. If you don't have an exactly white shirt, you can use any button down any blouse that you own. I'm sure most people have that. So I'm gonna get started on how you can just jazz up this outfit without um, having to purchase anything new. Okay, so the first thing we do is we show a little skin. I'm gonna come back in a little bit closer so you can see. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you to show more skin than you're comfortable with your values. Even if you fully cover modestly, even if you cover the elbows, it's always better to show a little skin. So even if you're only showing up to here, it's still preferable to wearing long sleeves. So right now I'm going to show you something called the Cool Girl Roll. This is the very first step of upgrading and styling this basic look. Okay, so I'm going to stand back again. So what we do is, see, I have long sleeves here. Instead of just the normal way to roll up a sleeve would be to cuff it and roll it until you reach your desired length. But the difference between the Cool Girl Roll is that it does the job of rolling up the sleeve, but it's a little bit cooler, a little bit more fun, a little bit more interesting. So this is what we're gonna do. Instead of rolling, okay, you're gonna take your cuff here. I'm gonna try to see this as clear as I can be in the frame. Okay, and instead of cuffing it up, you're just gonna pull it up in one shot all the way here. I do it a little bit below my elbow because I want it to end up just above my elbow. So here I have the cuff up like this, and then the bottom piece, I'm just gonna roll into itself. So I'm sort of tucking in, sort of not. So you can see it's kind of like an unfinished roll. I don't know if you can see that. Ah, there we go. Unfinished roll on the camera. See, it does the job of cuffing it up, but it has a little bit of a messier look. It's not as even, so it looks a little bit cooler, a little more undone, and that's why I call it the Cool Girl Roll. Okay, so let's just do that again with this side. Just gonna stand back because I already did the close-up version. And now already without doing anything, it already looks a little better. Show a little skin, ladies. That's my controversial advice. Okay, so now that we have that, it already is starting to look a little bit better. But another thing you can do, and I want to specify, this applies to all body types. For a very long time, I did not wear anything tucked in. I have an apple body shape and I have a belly. That's where I gain all my weight in my stomach area. And I thought that I needed to cover up, hide that only until a couple years ago I realized that was not the case. And it's actually a lot more flattering to show you some tucked in options and to show you other ways to style it. So I'm going to stand back again and show you how to do it. Okay. So this is the look fully tucked out. And then we could do a full tuck here all around, very simple. But what's going to take this to the next level is if you add a simple belt. I can't really see what I'm doing here in front of a mirror, so bear with me. I hope this is clear and working out. So I just added a simple belt. It's pretty much the same white belt that I have that I showed in my slides. So here everything's tucked, everything's in. Pull this underneath, and it looks so much more polished, so much pulled together, much more put together just by rolling up the sleeves and tucking in, right? So even though I have like a belly area a little bit over here, it's still so much more flattering and so much more polished and put together. Now, if you're still a little bit self-conscious, or if you want to do something a little bit different, you can do the French tuck, or some people call it the half tuck. So we're gonna go back out again. And you're just going to take this tiny piece right here. You don't even have to do the back at all. So the back is fully out. You're just going to take this tiny little piece over here and then just tuck it a little tiny piece in the middle. And then you're going to untuck everything else. Okay? And here is the look. So now this is sort of like half in, half out. It's kind of like, it's just a little simple tuck in the front and everything falls here. It also creates sort of the image of a curve over here if you are more straight. It does give you a little bit of a more image of a curve and emphasizes the waist because it comes to a point over here. So that is that is that. Okay, is it clear so far? Are we good? Okay, we're good. Just gonna take a little drink. The next thing I want to show you, just gonna go off screen for a minute because I'm gonna just take this off. I'm wearing a shirt underneath, but I don't want to fully take it off in front of everybody. Okay, so now I just have a plain black shirt with the jeans cardigan. Again, this is a wardrobe essential. I'm sure everyone has a simple black top or any solid color in their closet. I do have the belt on, so it's already starting to look a little bit better. But I'm going to take that off. And I want to show you, I'm going to add this statement necklace. This is a really, really cool piece I have. And I'm just going to add it to this very, very simple look. And you're going to see it makes a world of a difference. Okay, so here we are, just the black shirt and the jean skirt. And then just going to add second. Okay, just going to add this piece. You can see, I'll step back. I don't know if you can see in the frame, hopefully you can, but it already pulls together the look so much better. This is the finishing touch of the look. This is not a boost, this is a finishing touch because it's one tiny little piece, but it makes a huge difference. And even though this is a very, very simple outfit, just a simple jean skirt and a simple black top, it all of a sudden looks a lot more polished. If you're not into these funky statement necklaces, these really cool pieces like I am, you can also have a very similar effect if you like more delicate pieces. You can also layer 3 different delicate pieces and get a very, very similar effect of still making a statement, still upgrades everything. It's still a finishing touch, and it looks a whole lot cooler than if you just have plain pieces by themselves. Okay. And I'm just going to take this necklace off really quick, out of frame. Second. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay. All right, guys, bear with me. I've never done this live demo before like this, so it's a little bit tricky, and I'm not used to doing it this way. Okay, but I'm gonna move on to the clothing rack. Can everyone see all the pieces? Okay, so I just put a very, very simple white tee here. So everything I said with a black tee, you can obviously do with the black, the black tee, you can also do the white t-shirt instead. And then I just want to show you this white t-shirt has a little bit more interest to it. Has a little embellished pieces, but it doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant. You could use a white t-shirt also. And I want to show you the similar tricks that we did with the button down if you're not into button-down shirts. If you're more casual style persona, you could still do very similar ideas with a t-shirt. Okay, so here again, this is just out, everything's plain. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but we could do a lot better here. Okay, we could do a whole lot better if we just do a simple tuck. It already looks instantly more polished. You didn't have to buy anything. You didn't purchase anything. All you did is simple tuck, and you already look much more put together. And I call it effortless effort. It looks like you thought about it a little bit, but it really takes no effort at all. And it's really going to help you look a lot better, a lot cooler, a lot more polished in your outfits. Okay. And while we're on the subject of t-shirts, I have this t-shirt on. I want to show you the blazer options. Now, not everyone thinks they are blazer people, and that's perfectly fine, but I want to show you a couple options anyway. because you could use a blazer as it's getting chillier. And again, Israel might be a little bit a while, but I know the rest of the world is getting chillier already. So a blazer is a really good option for those medium chilly days where you really do need a layer. You need to kind of put things on and off. It looks much cooler than a cardigan or a sweater or definitely a sweatshirt. So it's just another option to have instead of those outerwear pieces. Just put on a blazer. It's not only for the boardroom, it's not only for suits, it makes the whole outfit look a whole lot cooler. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Okay, so again, just the t-shirt. We have a t-shirt and a jean skirt, very basic, but all of a sudden we put on the blazer and now we look super cool. And what do we say about showing little skin? That applies to blazers too. Don't need to do a whole roll, but I'm just going to do a scrunch here. Okay. And all of a sudden, a whole lot cooler, right? This is going to affect every little detail aspect of your life. When you look better, you feel better. You feel amazing by yourself, and you're going to attract amazing things in your world, and you're going to give off a amazing impression to everyone you meet. Okay, so that's that. And now I'm gonna put the white button down back on, and I'm gonna go through a few other options that you could style yourself at home that you probably have in your closet. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the button down. And I'm just gonna show you a few more pairings that you probably have most of these things already in your wardrobe. You don't need to purchase a thing. And if you do, it would be like 1 to 2 pieces. It wouldn't be, definitely wouldn't be a whole new wardrobe. It would just be a little brush up. So I'm going to show you some ideas of how you can pair things in your closet that you already have in new ways. Let me just put this back on. Okay. And you see the 2 seconds with the belts. And 2 seconds, we're going to do the front tuck. Okay, and now we're good to go. Now we looked a lot more polished and a lot more cool. Okay. We're gonna do the roll. Okay, so these little tips and tricks literally take under a minute, like 2 seconds, to completely change your entire look. Okay, you're gonna feel so much better if you start doing these things all the time. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through what's on the rack and show you some different options, how to put different things together. Let me just get the drink really quick. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is what Aviva asked me for. Here I have a striped shirt. Okay, now I could pair that with a jean skirt or a black skirt or, a very, very basic bottom or pants if you have it. If you want to go, this is what it'll look like with the black. Okay, very basic, very plain. It's fine. If you added the boosting elements, it certainly look better. But I want to show you that even with a print skirt, it could look really, really cool. So this is actually the skirt I wore today, print skirt. And you see when you put it together, it actually looks very cool, very put together. Okay, so I'm gonna just zoom in on there a little bit so you can see how the prints, they're two prints and they're two patterns, but they really don't fight with each other. Sometimes if you have two crazy prints, it's doable, but this is really level one of mixing prints. If you're new to the mixing print space, try a striped shirt with a print bottom. Really, really easy. Okay, so now we're have the print bottom. If you don't, if the stripes are scary and it's too much for you, you could go a lot calmer and a lot more basic with this print skirt. This print is already very loud and wild. It has a bunch of florals. It also has this piece over here. So it's definitely a little bit of a statement on itself. So if pairing a print with a print is a little scary for you, don't worry, I got you. Okay. So again, you could pair this with a plain black top or a plain white top. It's fine. It's cool. Like with the boosting elements and the finishing touches, it could be a good look, but I want to show you there's some other options as well. So here you can choose any of these colors. So here we have and lots of pink in the skirt. So pink would go great with this, as you can see. Hopefully you can see. Or I want to show you something what worked the outfit actually wore today. I paired it with this light green. It looks white in the picture in the camera, but it's actually light green. This light green top. And if you see in the skirt, it doesn't actually have that exact color, but it still totally works. So you can be really, really creative, guys. You can be really try things you think, okay, that would never work, that would never go together. Experiment a little bit, play around. Worst comes to worst, it doesn't work, and you go back to your old basics. But I really want you to have a little bit of fun in your wardrobe. So that's what we're doing today. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is this print top. Same idea. We have a leopard. I love my leopard. Okay, we have a cool print leopard top. Now, again, you could go, it's already a statement top. It already has a cool print. So if you paired it with the black skirt, it's doable. It's cool. You could definitely make it work. It's fine. But if you want to level up, there are options. I don't have a white skirt here, but you could do white, which gives it a little bit more of a pop against the leopard. Or you could even try a red. See how cool that looks? Leopard and red together. Okay. And I'm sure if you don't have red, you have other bright colored bottoms or bright colored skirts. I'm sure you do. If not, go get one. Everyone needs a bright colored skirt. And you see how well that works together. If red is a little too much for you, here's also a green option that looks really cool, really put together. See in the camera how the print and the green go really, really cool and really well together. And then the last thing I want to show you is if this is all too crazy and you're not into your prints and you want to like play it, this is too much for you, need the little baby steps. Okay, cool. Totally fine. Let's stick with the solids. Okay. Here we have a bright pink shirt. You can take any color you have. Pink is very basic, very cool. This is a hot pink. Okay, so I'm going to show you to try different options. We have the same skirts we had before. Here would be a typical black or the jean skirt. This is like very basic, very plain. But if you just swap it here with the pink and green, look how cool that looks together. It looks gorgeous, these two colors. I'm going to go close in the camera so you can see. So you wouldn't necessarily think to put these two together, but if it's a really cool color blocking effect, if you do two different bright colors together, not all colors work. I recommend looking at a color wheel to really see what colors work. If you have any questions about that, I'm happy to answer that as well. But I want to show you that you could actually pair things together that you wouldn't normally do. So that's the pink and green. And I know this is controversial, but even pink and red could work and look really cool together if done right. So there's a lot of options of upgrading your wardrobe with pieces you already have. There's absolutely no reason to buy anything new. I mean, there is a reason. It's fun to buy new things, but you don't have to invest in a whole new wardrobe. in order to have a whole new wardrobe. So I'm gonna pause here again. This is pretty much wrapping up here. I'm just gonna pause one more minute for questions. If you had any questions of things that I talked about in the slides or things I talked about in the demo. Hope it wasn't too haphazard. Again, this is the first time I've done it this way. So I hope it was clear. I hope you could see. Um, yes, love that idea, reinventing the wardrobe you already have. Exactly. It's always fun to get new pieces and totally deserve that. But if you are not interested in investing in a whole new wardrobe, you can definitely make a new wardrobe out of the pieces you already own. It's great. I'm going to open up the floor now for more questions and um, time for a closet cleanout. Yes. And if anyone has this, I didn't warn you, so I really should have. If anyone has a piece sitting in their closet that you love, you adore, but you just don't know how to wear it or what to put it with, I'm going to give you the opportunity now to do that. So we can wait. If there's anything that you have just sitting in your closet that you love or you only wear with a certain color or a certain style, and you would love to branch out and see if you can wear something else. Does anyone want to be in the spotlight, or is everybody feeling a little shy tonight? Fabulous ideas. Can shoes ruin the outfit? Shoes can definitely make the outfit. It could make or break the outfit, but um, shoes can be a very valuable accessory to, that's a great finishing touch piece that really pulls the whole look together. It's not, if you really need more sensible shoes or more comfortable shoes, it could still work. You just have to be a little bit mindful about the rest of your look. It's not going to ruin it, but it's not necessarily going to add to the look if you wear more plainer, more sensible shoes. So you just have to be conscious about the rest of your look, and you can still look and feel amazing with your entire presentation. I have a new cobalt blue skirt. I'm looking to make it look a little more put together. Um, do you want to show me that on camera or do you want to just talk about it? Sure. Okay, go get it. We'll wait here. Okay, cobalt, for those who don't know, I'm going to pull that up on my phone. Cobalt is like a really cool blue. Um, but it's like a really unique color. So I'm just going to pull that up. Oh, okay. Okay. So, yeah. So I can't see the color so well, but I can tell sort of what it looks like. One second. I'm just going to show what it looks like here. Okay. So I don't know if you can see the camera, but this is like this true, kind of the true color of cobalt. It's like a really nice, very specific, bold blue. Okay. So, that can go with a lot of different things. What are you wearing right now with this skirt? If I can ask, do you have something that you're wearing with it, or you just have it and you don't know what to wear? Do you have something you're wearing with this, or you're not? Oh, you wore it with a light gray or white. Yeah, that can work. Um, you could also obviously go with black, which is a little bit safe. Um, or you could maybe pair it with, if you have anything like teal or turquoise, that could be gorgeous with the cobalts. I know you love teal. So if you do you have any like teal tops that could work with it, that would be great. Even a light blue, anything in the blue family um, is going to be gorgeous. It's almost monochromatic, but not quite. So it really be a beautiful combination. Light blue would also be great. Even a forest green, not for, or like a hunter green would look beautiful with that as well. A stripe, yes, stripes or a print for sure. Lots of options here. If you want to go even a little bolder, like um, a peachy pink could look really, really nice with that, or a purple. There's a lot of options here, tons. You don't do pinks, I know. So you could do purple, we could do light blue, lots of different print options. Um, lots of ideas you could do with that. Anyone else want to step up and come into the spotlight and see if you have anything that you want me to help you pair your piece that you don't know how to wear? Okay, so any last questions for the crowd? Can you wear a belt with a pleated dress? It depends on the dress, but totally, yeah, for sure. If you put it in the right place, for sure. Absolutely. The belt you want to put in the smallest point of your waist, just as a rule, always. I'd have to see the exact dress, but don't make the mistake. I have so many clients. Oh my God, that's one of the another tip that I have for you. Wear your skirts higher, okay? As close as you can to your natural waistline. That is going to be the most flattering place to wear your skirts. And so the belt should be in the same place. Your belt should be close to your natural waistline, if not on your natural waistline. And I'm just going to stand up to show you where that is because a lot of people think that your waistline is your belly button area. Your waistline is actually all the way up here. This is the smallest point of your waist. If you don't know where it is, just hold your hips like this and you can find the smallest point between your ribs and your hips. That is where they meet. That is the smallest point of your waist. So if you want to wear the belt with the pleated dress, um, that's the right placement for that. Okay, so I think we covered everything we want to cover tonight. If you have any other questions, feel free to message me or contact me on social media. I hope you enjoyed this session, that part two of Activated Style. We did a bunch of different tips and tricks today, really upgrading our looks, really taking our looks to the next level, and that is going to help you dress with intention every single day. And bring in all the blessings, all the wonderful things, all the things you want to accomplish in your life. So I hope you enjoyed and would love to hear your feedback. Bye.